Alright guys, in our last video we looked at the 5 fundamental principles, those important ideas and rules of government that helped shape government in the United States. It helped America become what we are today under the Constitution. Starting in 1607 with the founding of the Virginia colony in Jamestown, there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of documents that contain these fundamental principles. From letters, legal documents, manuscripts, journals, diaries. The good news is we're only going to look at 5 of those documents in today's video. The even better news is we're going to travel back in time, so I'm wearing the wig. The wig. I'm not alone. I'll be among a whole mess of wig wearers. Alright, so the U.S. Constitution, it is the supreme law of the land in the United States. When we talk about limited government, that is the document that does it. The first document we want to look at is the Charters of the Virginia Company of London. Now, we all know the story about how John Smith came to Virginia, fell in love with Pocahontas. No, wait a second, that's not right. She really fell in love with that dude, John Rolfe. But what do you know about the document that established the Jamestown and the Virginia colony? Well, let's go back in time, and we're going to travel to the year 1607 to about 1624 and look at the Charters of the Virginia Company of London. Now, a charter is a document that gives permission to create a government, and it also is a plan as to how that government will work. No one's going to come to the New World to have less freedom. I imagine you are right. Here is your charter to preserve the rights of the English and to allow you to form a legislative assembly. Alright, so enough of that foolishness. No, John Smith did not request the charter. He was a part of the London Company, however. So the Charter of the Virginia Company of London, it's important because it establishes the first colony in North America, and it guarantees the rights of the English to the colonists. What were those rights? Remember, if you want to remind yourself, you need to look at the English Bill of Rights and also Magna Carta. And it also creates the first government in the colony. The second document we want to look at is the Virginia Declaration of Rights. Now we're leaving 1624 and headed to May 1776. The Virginia Declaration of Rights was written by George Mason. He was a Virginian. This document becomes part of Virginia's Constitution. A revised version of it is still law in Virginia. It states natural rights the governments can't take away, and it becomes the model for the Bill of Rights. Mason fought for these Bill of Rights, and it cost him his friendship with then-President George Washington. There's a little rainbow there, which just made me wonder, why could we not have any unicorns? Alright, so the Declaration of Independence is our next document we want to look at. One we're all extremely familiar with, and it goes 2 months over to July 1776. Written by this man, Thomas Jefferson, the Declaration of Independence stated grievances against the King of Great Britain. Grievances are complaints. And again, we are thoroughly upset with Great Britain being a tyrant, abusing their power. This document declares that the colonies are independent and free. And yes, oh no, we are now going to have to form a new government. We'll get to that document next. The Declaration affirmed natural and unalienable rights, and it established the idea of equality under the law. Most recognized as America's birthday, July 4th, 1776 was when this document was adopted, and there's just some fireworks. So we need a government, so we have the Articles of Confederation. Now, the Articles of Confederation was written in 1777 and is ratified by all the states in 1781. Ratified, you need to become familiar with, and that just means to approve. Now, the Articles of Confederation, it's the first form of national government. Also, it maintained that the major powers were with the states. Remember, we're afraid of tyranny and abuses of power, so the states hold on to that power as long as they can. Really, the document says that it is a firm league of friendship. So it had a Congress at its center, and each state had one vote. We had 13 states at the time. Problems here that existed: they could not raise money through taxes, and there was no executive powers, and there was no judicial powers. Now, the next document we're going to look at, the final document, is the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom. Again, another document written by Thomas Jefferson, and actually it was written in 1779, again in Virginia, by Thomas Jefferson. Now, the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, keyword here is statute, and a statute is a state law. So this document applied only to Virginians, and it said that all religions, including no religion at all, shall be free in Virginia. This document influences the Bill of Rights, specifically the First Amendment. And this document, Thomas Jefferson was so proud of it, it becomes listed on his epitaph, I guess his tombstone. The first being the Declaration, second, the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, and the last, that's right, UVA. All right, so no matter what your religious is, even if there's no religion, you are free to practice. So there are the 5 documents that you need to be familiar with. And another great graphic in our quest to master diagrams this semester. Now, probably your best bet is, once you have this basic groundwork of the document, is to actually tackle the documents and read them yourself. See what you can understand of the documents. Send me any questions you might have. Bring those questions to class. Ultimate goal is to be able to answer, how do these documents get reflected in the U.S. Constitution, the supreme law of the land?